What you wearing, ayy? What you wearing, man? That's crunchy, Brian. What you wearing, ayy? What you wearing, man? That's crunchy, Brian. What you wearing, ayy? What you wearing, man? That's crunchy, Brian. What you wearing, ayy? What you wearing?
What's up, guys? Welcome back to a special edition of interviews presented by yours truly. I have a very talented clothing designer right next to me. She was able to come all the way from where you based out of again?
Plano.
Plano. She was able to come from Plano and you know give us some of her time to answer some questions about her experience as a fashion designer. So first and foremost, how are you doing?
I'm doing great. Doing great. Feeling good today.
And for those that don't know you, introduce yourself, tell them your name, where you're from, how old you are, how long you've been doing fashion.
My name is Henni, owner of Henni Clothing. I'm from Memphis, Tennessee. Um, I started I started in 2018 is when I started, but I really got serious about it. I would say 2020.
That's like 2 years. So what happened between those 2 years that kind of shifted your focus?
Oh man, working at that time, I was working at the state prison. Actually, I'm from Memphis, but I was in Nashville, Tennessee, about 3 years. So, trying making clothes, and when you're working as a correction officer, you're working 12 hours a day,
Hmm.
sometimes more than that. So the timing was kind of like I didn't have as much time, and also just didn't have any help, So I was fitting time in and trying to get things done, and also trying to network.
You said correctional state officer. You were a correctional state officer.
Yeah, I was correction officer at Tennessee State Prison and Women.
Mm. How for how long? For those 2 years, or was it longer than that?
Um, no, it was about 3 years. Before that, yeah, I went to college, got a criminal justice degree. And then, like I said, moved to Nashville, went into the field, yeah, and moved here, and still kind of in the field. But since I've been here, the way my schedule is set up now, it gives me that space to make more clothes, and it's a balance. Yeah, I didn't have that balance as a correction officer.
I understand that, like balancing between being a designer and having a job, is definitely a lot. I can definitely say there have been times where having a job and trying to make clothes, the two just didn't like mix well, especially like when I was younger and in college.
Yeah, college, man. College, you gotta be college as well. You gotta be focused. I went to college on a basketball scholarship,
Okay.
so playing ball, trying to stay focused in the book, keep your GPA up. Then, like I said, working, trying to after that, working in the prison, it was a lot. I
Who'd you said so you played basketball? Which college?
played for Ball State,
Say that again.
volunteer state.
Hmm. I never heard of it before. That's why like I had to open my
Vol-
ears a little bit.
Volunteer state is it's in Gallatin, Tennessee.
It's a small college,
Yeah, it's a small college. Yeah,
Division 1, Division 2,
Division 1.
Division 1. Were you planning on taking that serious, or you kind of just you just
Man, what? Yes. High school, man, I used to have people come into my games betting on me. I was all in the in newspaper articles, played leading scorer, district teams. Basketball is my first love. Basketball is something that growing up, excuse me, was something that like it kept me out of all the negativity. I would go to school, I'm either at school or I'm at the court playing ball, or I'm probably playing ball on a crate on the light pole. So yeah, basketball is my first love. That's the thing that kept me focused. Um, yeah, so I played basketball, man, from middle school all the way up into college.
that's what's up. I tried playing basketball earlier, and I thought like honestly, if it was up to me, I'd probably be doing that than making clothes. But it's one of those things where I just the passion just wasn't there for me, like the same as it might have been for you, where like there's people who like that's their whole life, and with me, it's just kind of something I picked up on because I just noticed everybody else was doing it.
Mhm. Yeah, basketball was my thing. It's just always been my passion. It didn't. after basketball, so the way for me, basketball, I played, so my position was point guard, right? So from being a point guard, some point guard mainly, and played the two as well. Um, so that drive for basketball, playing as a point guard, you understand that you kind of control the flow of the game.
Right.
So when you get that mindset, and then when it came to fashion, all of it kind of goes. I now put that energy into my fashion, my clothes. Um, so it is it's definitely basketball. Definitely like taught me how to be focused, how to take my time, and just control my own tempo.
Well said. I like that. We're gonna get started. I'm gonna spin the wheel. Actually, I'm gonna let her do the honors and spin the wheel first, and we're gonna answer a couple questions. We ain't gonna take up too much of your time. We know you gotta get. I say you got any things going on after this, or you just.
Yeah, we gotta get back home and finish making these clothes for this upcoming show I got.
Yeah, that's what I thought you was doing. What show is it for again? If you don't mind me asking.
So it's a youth fashion show. It's a youth fashion show, and it's a movement based off youth violence and youth cancer awareness. I lost a little brother. He was 11 years old to a crossfire, and Ace, her nephew, he's going through some things. He's 3, 4 years old, and right now he's going through kidney cancer, stage 4. So me and her decided to come together and put this show together for the kids. And my little brother has always been into fashion. He loved to dress. He always looked up to me. He always want to go everywhere I go. I'm always dressing him. So it's keeping it alive for me. And just this community, this a community thing. As far as my brand is this, that's what it's about. I'm doing it for not. I'm doing it for everybody. And the kids, I think as far as the kids need. I feel like kids just need some guidance, and they're very talented, and I feel like this here is to get in the opportunity to showcase their talent and express themselves on the runway.
I respect that. I love the answer. I would say, is the show here? I want.
Yeah, so the show would be in Fort Worth. It's gonna be April 26th.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not too far from me either. I might have to make an appearance. Hopefully, I'm not. If I don't have nothing going on for sure. If anything, I'll probably make time for that show specifically just to come through because I don't really see too many youth fashion shows happening,
I don't see
especially in Fort Worth.
I don't even see too many youth fashion designers. That's another thing. I'm like, man, like
That's true.
people this and they say people kind of, and I get, when it comes to kids, sometimes, kids love, that's where it starts at. When you're a kid, you at a certain age, you want to dress yourself, you get to learn yourself, your style, you get to figure out who you are. So that's another reason why I want to do it for the kids. And 'cause, like I said, kids is this where it starts at. So I want to start from the bottom, and then keep my name alive through the kids because they're gonna always remember that.
That's true. It's I was actually just talking about this a couple of months ago about like how fashion for me started when I was a kid. But I ain't gonna drag it though. All right, I'm gonna let you get the first spin.
Do this need to move or just?
Yeah, just give it a spin. We'll point the arrow to the right one. There we go. First one. Do you prefer solo projects or collaborative projects?
I say both. Um, Solo. I've been doing it. So, like I said, I've been doing it solo since I started.
Hmm.
No one else in my family is really into fashion as far as like they like to dress, but they're not into it like I am. So
The intricate details of it.
yeah, they're not into like the details of it. So but they're supportive. Collaboration, of course. I'm all about collaboration. I'm always willing to work with other designers. Whether it's designers, whether it's photographers, all of that. But designers for sure because you can take your idea and their idea and you just never know what you can do with it. And it can be a streetwear look, and it can be a high fashion. I mean, yeah, because they got high fashion streetwear.
Hmm.
So yeah, I'm always into collabing.
You don't gotta like, so there's no, it's really no favorite towards one or the other. Like, you don't prefer doing solo projects more, just for the sake of audience, like, because I'm pretty sure they want to know like which one you favor a little bit more, just by a tiny bit.
Hmm. Say collab. Say collab. Yeah.
I feel that.
Yeah.
My turn. All right.
Man,
What was Milan Fashion Week like?
man, Milan was amazing. Oh my God. It was the audience, is a different audience, right? Um, for me, is okay. In the U.S., you have people. There's, I have people that love my creative styles and stuff like that. But it is different when you go out of the country and you get the same energy out of the country. People telling me, "Hey, you need to go. If you go to Morocco, they will love your clothes. You need to go here. You need to go there." And they're ready to buy because it's so unique. So the whole setup was nice. Milan itself is totally different. The I really enjoyed Milan. Like I said, it opened it gave me that reality. Like, hey, you have some nice stuff. People really love your stuff. Like, you literally went out the country, and these people love you. Like, you have your style is it. Stay in your lane. That's what they told me.
Stay in your lane. I like that. I would I've never been to Milan before, but since you speak of it so highly, maybe I could put it on my bucket list.
You can go out there.
You think how did they respond to like, is there a lot of black people out there, like fashion designers who are black out there, or was it kind of
Um, it was Fashion Week.
Fashion Week?
So, everybody's from all over the place coming out there. But as far as like the population in general, I didn't see, no, not much of black people out there. It's all foreign, all foreign. Um, yeah, it's mostly foreign people out there, not too many black people. If it's not Fashion Week, I don't think there'll be too many black people out there.
Hmm. Understood.
Excuse me.
Because I can't read it. All right. What is the toughest part about being a fashion designer?
Oh, so you
So like whenever I spin it like that, I'm just doing that way I can move it this way because I can read it directly from here.
oh, from where you are.
Yeah.
So it's part about being the fashion designer. Whew. I would say finding your niche.
Good answer.
Yeah, you definitely have to find your niche. Um, you can't be too much all over the place with it. You don't want to. You don't want to buy. You don't want to like do too much. You don't want to have too many different designs. It's okay to have it, but knowing where you are, what setting you in, like Texas, knowing what state or what city you're based in, or you have to put yourself whatever type of clothes you're making, just making sure whatever clothes you're making, whatever's going on, that's your target audience. Really just finding your target audience. And it can be because people now, like, people have all type of styles. You know what I'm saying? Like, people when they clothes inside style, that's a style, that's fashion. So finding your niche is it's the toughest part. I think that's definitely the toughest part of it.
That's I can personally relate to it. I think when I first started like making clothes when I was like, about 10 years ago, so I was like about 17, 16, 17. Um, I knew I wanted to make clothes, but I didn't really know like it was just kind of hard to like pinpoint what I was doing because I just kind of did whatever like came to mind. But like as I'm getting older, I'm kind of like realizing the type of stuff I like. So I guess it's just one of those things where like now that I'm getting older, you can kind of pinpoint what is your niche. But
Hmm.
back then, it's like I don't know. I'm just doing whatever. Like you don't think about it.
But it's kind of not a bad thing. When you have a creative mindset, you just create, and when you're very creative, sometimes you don't feel like you have to be boxed into a certain section of how you put your stuff out there. Because I know for me, if you was to ask me what is my niche, streetwear, high fashion, um, kids, adults, if it's custom made, sewing things for people that they might have a video shoot, whatever people are asking, and if I'm available to do it, I'm making it, you know? So, but you definitely have to know, especially when it comes to maybe website or social media platform when you put your brand out there, you want to make sure with that it's good of good quality, it's a professional look. It depending on who you're trying to reach.
Right.
It really depends on who you're trying to reach.
For sure. I think I'm still, in a way, still figuring that out. But I'm kind of like what you said, just kind of going with the flow, controlling it, but at the same time not rushing it. Because the right people, they'll find you. I preach this all the time on my show. Like
Hmm.
the right people are gonna find you. It's just a matter of being consistent and just also not quitting. If that makes
Definitely
sense.
you don't quit. You can for sometimes, and it can feel so heavy on you, right? You can be making stuff and feeling like, man, ain't nobody buying my stuff. Man, I'm doing this and that, but you can't quit. Um, and it costs to do it.
Hmm.
You gotta go if you sewing, you gotta get the pattern, you gotta get everything to make it.
Right.
Even if you're not sewing it, whatever you're doing, it costs. So sometimes that can play a role with people, you know what I'm saying? Like, so with that, a lot of people start out just making t-shirts.
Hmm.
That's a quick thing right now. You can get a DTF
Get a stamp.
transfer and just stamp it. But that's not bad. It just depends on what you put on it.
Right.
People nowadays, people putting motivational quotes. You know, because I feel like the world now, everybody seems to need a push. So you put the right quote on something inspiring and relatable, people buying it. So it's gonna sell. You just have to know also, and then just kind of keeping up with the trends of not the trends of a style, but the trends of sayings and stuff like that. And you can do that by listening to, excuse me, like these certain artists that's popping.
Right.
You can you can listen to the song, take a little quote out of that song and stamp it on something because that little saying is popping and people want that.
I hear. Yeah, you're right about that. I hear songs all the time where they have like certain things that like with me with music. At first, like the beat is what gets me, but then like
Mhm.
as I keep listening to the song and the lyrics like are starting to stick a little bit, and then I'm actually like understanding and comprehending what's being said. It's like, oh, okay, like I kind of see why I like this. Like, I mean, the beat fire, but it's like I actually find the song relatable unconsciously, and then when you keep listening to it, you realize like there's something being said. It's just
It's something being said that you can put out there. Yeah, seriously. Because when you go to an artist concert or something, people like a Chris Brown, they just want to picture him. They buying all these little shirts because it's him. So you got to relate to what's going on. And it's going to pop.
she's speaking facts. Get a roll on. All right. What was your first runway show like?
Oh man, I was nervous. My first runway show was in Memphis, Intro to Paris. Um, Actually, one of my professors was a fashion designer. He coordinated this fashion show. And he was like, I want you to make me something. So I made him something. And he was like, I want you to be in this show. So that first show, and I think it was about five designers, and whoever had the best designs from the crowd. I think won like $1,000 or something like that.
Okay.
So it was me and this one other designer, runner up. He took it home. He took it home. He had some dope designs. But then, like I said again, with that, he had already been in it for a while. I was really just starting. Uh,
When was the show again?
Intro to Paris.
Oh, I meant when.
Oh, this show, man, this show was so long ago.
You said you started around 2018, so it had to be between that to
Ooh, it had to be between 2018, 2020, somewhere around that time. I think it was probably like 2020 when I actually got serious about it.
okay.
Yeah. So yeah, I would say 2020. Yeah, yeah.
What was it like though? Like the whole experience of the show, like, putting the models together and the outfits.
Uh, it was models saying you ain't got it was it was funny because I think I had about a good 6 pieces.
Okay.
Not how models, you ain't got nothing else. I'm like, it's all I got. So, and then I'm like, nah, that's all I got. And it's crazy because at that time, it was this one model. I don't know where she came up with it, but she was like, Henny. That's why I got the kind of like got the name from. She was like, Henny. I was like, why Henny? She said, well, your last name Henderson, Henny. I'm like, okay. So since then, I ran with the name. I ran with the name with it. The show was a great experience. A lot of people that came out. Like I said, I was definitely nervous. I was definitely shy. You know
Something
how,
like that.
yeah, at the end of the show, you come out and you talk.
Oh, they made you talk?
Yeah, like after my mother's walked out and we did the final walk, man, that stage was long. It was like at a convention center, so it was a lot of people. And I'm really, really shy. I was really, really shy then. So, boy, I got there, started talking. I'm telling them, I don't want to. They was like, go ahead and talk. Man, I'm talking about hands sweaty, just nervous. And then, it's kind of one of those things like, why be nervous? Why be nervous? Like, this is you.
hmm
So I had to learn to like, okay, relax. Like you can't be nervous when you're passionate about something. So that first show taught me a lot. It taught me a lot. It taught me a lot about not being nervous. It taught me a lot about understanding my designs. Like I said, you got people, models coming in like, you ain't got nothing for me. I still get that now.
Yep.
I'm like, I ain't got nothing else. You want my jacket? Like, I don't know.
Has that ever happened before? Like someone like act like, you ain't got no, let me get that jacket then.
Yep.
What you wearing?
Always happen. Originally it just happened. I went back home to Memphis. This known guy down there. His name they call him Mr. Hype Man, South Memphis Hype Man. So he got this little dance he do, and boy, his cameraman kept saying, "You made that jacket? I want it. I want it." I'm like, no, dude, no, you can't have this. And then the guy, the South, I went down there for the South, the hype man guy,
hmm
so because he actually got one of them merch and did a little thing in it. And this mask that I made, I didn't have it. Oh my God.
A mask?
It
By
was
you?
it was a black mask with spikes with gold spikes all on it with white paint splatter. And it went perfect with his shirt. And then I had him made him some gloves, black gloves that got spikes on it. And he do these performances all the time. And he was like, man, I ain't never did no show with a mask on. I was like, I ain't got it. And he called me again, was like, you sure you ain't got it? I'm like, no, it's back in Texas. And he was really upset about it. So he will be doing another show in Houston. He's like, I want the mask. I'm like, okay, I got you. So
You
yeah,
going to Houston?
huh?
You going to Houston?
I'm going to Houston. Yes, we'll go to Houston.
They'll definitely they gonna fuck I'm just going because they gonna fuck with your vibe out there.
Yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah. I've been to Houston, but I've never really been like out in the party life or even in the fashion world in Houston. So that's another thing right now. Actually, that's in the process in Houston. Yeah. So I I got someone that I've been talking out there, talking to out there about some upcoming events.
Looking forward to that for sure.
Yeah.
All right, we're looking at 26 minutes. I'll let it wrap for about 10 more minutes. See if we can squeeze at least 2 more questions, and then we can wrap it up with last thoughts.
Okay.
All right, go ahead, give it a spin.
Uh,
You want to read that one? It's the turquoise one.
What are your plans in 2026? 2026 plans. My 2026 plan is to get more on these podcasts. And because it's one thing making clothes, it's another thing letting people know who the person is behind the brand.
Right.
That's always been my thing. Never, man, my mom, I used to get these clothes, and people just buy clothes not knowing the history of people behind it. So I definitely want people to know who I am, because some people, they might not like your brand, but they like you as a person, and they support. So doing more podcasts. I spoke on the kids show that's coming up. Man, actually be doing, it's not out there right now like that, but it's this thing called Test the Runway. That man, HDOsa will be putting together.
Who?
HDOsa.
Oh, shout out to
Shout out to HDOsa. Yeah, we're putting this Test the Runway thing together. If you think about, how we have those shows where, like, maybe like Top Model, where they come in and they're in competition.
Mm-hmm.
So this is a little bit on the kill. But yeah, so that, and just, man, just keep making my mark. Keep making my mark out here. So there's a lot coming up. I really don't want to speak on it.
Fair enough.
Yeah, because I'm the type of person that I'm a kind of like behind the scenes person, and I just put it out there.
I got you. Fair enough. Looks like been a good one this time. Oh, okay. How do you go about choosing music for a fashion show?
The collection of whatever I'm showcasing. Um, if it's streetwear, picking something that expresses streetwear, but also it has to have that runway beat or that vibe to it.
Mm-hmm.
I try to keep it runway style, even if it's streetwear, whatever it is. Definitely, and it depends on what type of show it is, how whatever I'm showcasing, how I want to draw the crowd into it, and also most importantly for the models, making sure whatever they're wearing, the music itself, help them, kind of like be more, loose, like make them feel more comfortable when they walk. Make sure you got their bounce. Make sure you just go with the flow of the song. So just like I said, picking the music, making sure the model's able to walk to it, along with showcasing the clothes, how they need to be showcased, and most importantly, making sure that I get that crowd attention. Because out of anything, the most important thing I'm trying to do is sell some pieces.
Mm-hmm. You have like a go-to artist you go to, or you kind of just pick whatever you feel really facilitates the show?
Just I go to what audience?
Like an artist, like do you have like a favorite artist you like to use, or do you kind of just use? Do you like to keep it fresh?
Keep it fresh.
Keep it fresh.
That's my favorite artist.
Okay. I know with me, I kind of like to keep it fresh. Like I'll use like songs that nobody like has heard of, like artists that like you probably won't find on the radio or on Spotify. Like really underground artists, underground DJs. Typically, I like to take the opportunity to like put people on to like new music,
I like that.
because I could easily pick like a song that everybody's heard, and maybe it does fit the show well, but I want like kind of like what you said when it comes to like doing shows, really anything in general, you kind of want to make a mark, make yourself stand out.
Yeah,
And I feel like with music, if I'm using songs that nobody's heard of, they can probably remember that that's the first time they heard that. You know, they're gonna be like, "Oh, I never heard that before," but it was played when so and so had a show there. If that makes sense.
it makes totally sense. It's just like I said, you as a creative person, um, you want to pick something that stands out. You don't want to blend in. And then that's my thing. Because when first started with clothes, it was always um, I make one-on-one pieces.
Hmm.
Most of the things that I make, I'm sewing is one-on-one.
You sew all your pieces.
Yeah, and the thing that you,
Big respect,
yeah,
because
like
that's incredibly hard.
it takes time. That's why I started. I started seeing clothes like, man, this is dope, but it's too big for me. So I'm like, you know what? Let me just start my own thing and make it where it's one-on-one. And that way, when you're one-on-one, you stand out. I like to stand out. I like to be different. I think that's what being creative is about.
You said it. I got nothing to add to it. That's everything you're saying right now. It's been very relatable, and honestly, this is my language. Like,
Language?
yeah, like because when it comes to like fashion, really anything, it's really just about independent expression. I mean, the money and all that's cool, but I was actually speaking with a guest last night about this. The money and stuff that comes with it, but at the end of the day, it's really about being independent and doing your own thing. Because when you do that, you can find the people who actually meant for you, and you don't want to. I mean, ain't nothing wrong with having like a couple of faces that are like well known. I mean, you want that, of course. It's just you don't want your brand to be all about that, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like that's all y'all see my brand is because I don't know, I collab with Chris Brown or something. Like, and
Yeah.
now nothing but Chris Brown fans are in my DMs asking me to make the Chris Brown shirt that I made 5 years ago. Like, I don't, because a lot of people do that too. Like, you'll make something like fire. Let's say like a couple years ago, you made something like really fire and it sold out just like that. And now you're on to bigger and better ideas that you want to, put in, make a reality. But people are still like hung up on something you did like a few years back. And it's like, I mean, that's cool. I might get to it. I might remake it one day, but it's like I got like look what I have now.
Yeah. And if it's something they want back then, I would probably make it, but it won't be. I'd tell them I'll make it, but it won't be the exact thing. I'm gonna have to put a twist to it.
Okay.
That's why I do one-on-ones. I'm gonna have to. I'm gonna remix it. It's gonna you're gonna like it, but I'm gonna do a twist to it. So yeah,
All right, we're looking at 35 minutes. Excuse me. Still coming down from a cold, but no worries. Um, Last thoughts. How do you feel about, coming here, being on the show? Hate it, love it.
I love it. I love it because you ask the right questions. I love it because we're very like-minded. A lot of these topics we just talked about. Um, I love the fact that I can see just being here and looking around that you're very in tune with yourself and you're very expressive of and you're very what you're doing, you take it very seriously and you listen and you give feedback and that's important. We sat here and we talked about me, a little bit about you, and everything that we talked about is relatable to both of us. So I really love that. I love what you got going. Um, Independence, very different, very creative. We're like-minded. I love that. I love like-minded individuals, and you're one of them. First time meeting, you're one of them.
I received that. I really appreciate, that coming from you. And just so y'all know, this is actually like my first time meeting. This is like a first time like speaking ordeal, just so y'all know. Like we never had a like in-person conversation like prior to this. So just want y'all to know this is an organic conversation we've been having. It's not scripted. This is all natural. But I'll say any last thoughts. You want to let them know where they can follow you at?
You guys can follow me on Instagram at Henny HENNI underscore clothing for merch. If you want to just get to know Henny outside, just behind the brand, you can also follow Henny HENNI underscore THA designer, Henny the designer.
That's all.
That's it.
All right. Appreciate you guys for, keeping up with our busy schedule. I may take some time to edit these interviews because, back-to-back conversations. I've never done back-to-back interviews, but I'm not complaining though. I like to stay busy. I appreciate y'all for, all the support. Make sure you keep up with us on all platforms, YouTube. Make sure you switch over to Rumble as well because we're going to be up on there. We're probably going to if anything, I'm going to drop an episode on Rumble first. And then worst case scenario, if I have to push these interviews back, I'll release them maybe in around like mid to late February. I'm gonna try to get it done as early as I can, but it's just with two interviews at the same time. Now I gotta like pick which one is. It's a lot, but I'm gonna get it done. Um, Again, make sure you follow us on Rumble. I'm gonna drop a video on there, and then until next time, I'll see all you later. Have a great February. Love you all. Thank you for letting me your own. Peace.